Well, that was fun. That was so fun. Somewhere in there were some gorgeous pictures of our guests. Get excited. Get excited. Note to self, when you have 8 grandkids, you don't always get to rehearse. Get excited. Welcome to Pink Table Talk, episode 35. We are super excited that you are here, and we are talking all about choreographing your life tonight. This is super excited. I'm your host, Katrina Harris Earl. I'm also a national sales director with Mary Kay, but today I'm just that girl who's talking to my girlfriend, and I'm really excited that you're here. We also do a cash drawing today. So let's be clear. If you're a guest and you're watching, you want to chime in, let your beauty consultant know that you are watching, because not only might you be entered into the cash drawing tonight if you bought some product or hosted a party, grabbed some girlfriends, became a beauty consultant, fell in love with some of our other goodies, but we're having a great time today. And I don't know what happened. Get excited. My screen just went. It just went. So this is a test. You know what? I think it's because I have all of these grandchildren here. And I think because everyone is on my internet is dropping. So this is just really fun. You know what we're going to do is I just call me. This is real life. So in case you wanted to think that this is recorded, it's not. And so how when you have to yell at your kids, hold on, this is hilarious. I'm just okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm coming on my phone on the other end. It's probably going to drop again. So give me a second to come right back. Dorothy will let me in. Hang tight. Here we go. This is why, because getting all of those kids off the internet probably won't happen quickly. So give us grace. This is going to be fun. I need to take my phone off of the internet. I've never had this many people on the internet, but if there's 10 people in the house and everyone has 5 devices, there's probably 40 things on my internet right now. Turn I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so Dorothy, can you come in? I can't see anything now. So hopefully your internet doesn't go down. But can you just come in and tell me, can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you and see you.
Okay. That was wild. And when we do the recording, miraculously, all of that will be gone. But I just want to thank you for first hanging with me. That was wild. And the good thing is, my tech brain immediately kicked in and said, why is my super fast, super expensive internet cutting off? Probably those 8 kids that are on 50 PlayStations and all the things. So without further ado, while we have a Wi-Fi, I am bringing in my girlfriend and my guest, Jeni Tjelle, all the way from Chicagoland. Can you join us at the party, Jeni? Hello and welcome to Pink Table Talk. I hope that your guests are just, in love with real life. So, how are you doing, girl?
Well, I am great, Katrina, but when you hear the answers to some of the questions that you gave me, you're going to know that this was my fault. So as soon as we get to the word that describes my life,
This is hilarious. Now, Jeni just told me, I'm like, is it? Dorothy, do you have any idea what tech issue we're having?
I did see that if you guys have the they made an announcement that if you guys have the
Am I back?
yes, if you guys have the thing that you clicked to like soften your face to do the enhancements or whatever,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
certain programs are having issues and it's glitching.
Okay,
So
so
like
maybe it's turning that
Chrome and
off.
stuff like that. So maybe turn that off on yours and see what happens.
Well, true confessions, I'm 58 and I always have a filter on. Even though the skincare is fabulous, all right? But I don't think I have a filter on here. And Dorothy, I appreciate you popping up the comments so I could try to see them. We're just going to go ahead. Jeni, tell us whatever you want to say while you were there. Oh my gosh, we might do a take 2 of this. It might be episode 36, 37, and 38 with Jeni. So
Right.
go ahead and say, hey, girl. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm great, Katrina. Thank you for having me. It's so funny because my screen just went blank too. So we are here. Hopefully it lasts, and we cannot control the internet, right? And y'all, we have not one, not two.
This is fun. This is so fun, you guys. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We are just like, for real, we're going to switch, I think, to Zoom for the first time ever. There's some type of glitch, and I'm going to stay right here, Jeni, but we're going to switch to Zoom, like for real. For real, for real, for real. So I'm about to put my Zoom link out there in just a second. Give me a moment. And for those of you that are watching, here's my Zoom. And hold on, give me a sec. And Jeni, I'm about to send you a Zoom link. And we're going to switch to Zoom. And of course, I'm having an issue. Give me 1 second because I'm giving you my special Zoom.
This is
And
hysterical.
I know it's so fun. So just give me, well, I was going to give you my special Zoom because it's good to not put your full Zoom out there, but there you go. My full Zoom is out there. I'm sending it to you, Jeni, and we're going on Zoom because this is so good. And Dorothy, I'm going to stay right here. Um, and I'm sending this to you. And guess, I promise you, her story is worth it. And it is so good. And probably YouTube might be good. But Jeni, would you just pop over there and meet me on the other side, the competitor side? And let's see what happens. All right.
And do you
So,
want me to pop this up as a banner so anyone that comes into this can see it?
yeah, that would be great. Leave that live and just say join Zoom ID. And we're going to do this here, which is so cool. I'm spotlighting you and I'm spotlighting me. And we're coming on to Zoom. The two, look, the two most techie people. We can.
Like, I mean, you can't get more technology on a virtual event.
I'm like, but sometimes it's not us. Sometimes it is the technology for real.
Yeah,
And they're
StreamYard just did a bunch of updates, so that's probably what it is.
Yeah, there's a big old banner that's across the top that says if you're on this Chrome or you're on this or you're on this. So Jeni, we're just hanging out because it's just me, you, and my AI, and we're hanging out for a moment. But you guys that are watching, I think I can stream this to my YouTube. So just give me a second and we'll let people in and we're going to allow them to stay muted and here we go. So, yes, am I still live on there? Dorothy, just
Yes.
instead of putting that up there, just put Zoom ID and put the ID because everyone won't know how to that you could just type the ID. For
Okay.
technology purposes, we've moved due to technical, thank you, Cheryl Honesty, due to technical issues. We
People be hopping on the Zoom.
Yes. Uh-huh. So there are people coming in right now. We have moved to Zoom. ID, and I'm typing my ID that 30 years later I should know by heart, but it's not my phone number because I've had it before they let you do that. Okay, so
Give me 1 second, y'all. We're over here, and I'm just going to stream to my YouTube channel for the people that are watching YouTube. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, maybe I'm just staying here. And so excited you guys are on. I'm going to give you another moment to join in. And there we go. StreamYard did an update, and normally this is the best part of everything we do, but we're glad. So take two. All right. So we're going to give people 2 more minutes. Super excited. And that might even be why I don't know if that's the reason pictures didn't show, because I know there were pictures there. All right. They're coming in. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Join us on Zoom. Anyone can join. I promise it's going to be fabulous. Tag your guests. Give you another 2 minutes to grab your guests in here. They're coming on. And it's just really fun. New participants. Really cool. It's wild. Even when I go to stream, it tells me I'm already streaming and I'm not. So who knows what Zoom is doing. All right. 1 more minute, y'all. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. I thank you for those that are catching up. So you know what this means, Jenny. You have to come back. It says I was going to show a flyer that there's a mystery guest for August. It might have to be you. Okay. Just come and hang out with me. Okay, you guys, 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those. And Dorothy, go ahead and just pop my comment back up on the StreamYard. We'll stay live there for anybody who jumps in, but normally they should be here. All right, you guys. Well, I am super excited. So many benefits came to me when I moved to Chicago. And I can tell you that there are a few people. Cheryl Honesty is who I knew first and foremost. I thought of Chicago, I thought of Cheryl Honesty, okay? But aside from moving to Chicago to become an Earl and meet so many Earls, there were a handful of sales directors that really impacted me, and I impacted them so much. As a matter of fact, many of you know that we have put on just amazing, over the top, and we praise God that when we have had, thousands of people on, we haven't had these type of technical challenges. And we've done some really amazing events. And I would say that my visit to Chicago Rama and that very first PowerPoint that you shared with me started something that prepared us for the pandemic. And so it just was, it was like the next thing, because we've always done really amazing, multifaceted and dynamic events using technology. But you just sparked something inside of me that took it to a different level. And it was just unbelievable. And so I love your mind before you became a Cadillac director, and then watching you build this Cadillac unit, watching you build your unit and just produce this amazing unit club unit. And then the behind the scenes of how you created a business behind the scenes that has made such an impact. So I have so many questions for you. And the first thing I want you to do is just say hello now that we've got technology, now that we know it's StreamYard and not us. Okay. So
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor. Katrina, you know that you're one of my favorite humans in the world. I remember the very first time you called me, and I nearly freaked out. And then every big goal since, always I can count on a call from you. Like, how's it going? What do we need? What are we doing? And so just thank you for who you are and for inviting me. I'm very excited.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks again for those of you who moved over. If you have guests, you might want to look on and comment on the other Zoom, and Dorothy's making sure it's up there on the screen for us on YouTube and Facebook. So Jenny, these pink table talks are just small snippets where we get to know our guest speaker, not just for who you are in Mary Kay, but for who you are in life and who you are on the inside that makes you super bad in Mary Kay. And so the very first thing that I want to do is set the stage and have you share with us, how would your closest friends describe you? I love that you actually asked them, because that is the best way to find out. So
I had to phone a couple of friends and say, I'm a guest on a podcast, and this is the first question, and I'm stumped. Because if you really know me, like a lot of people think they know me, but they only know what they see of me, but they don't really know me. So if you know me, I don't like talking about myself. I don't like the stage, and I don't like the spotlight. I love private uh gratitude, like appreciation, but I don't like public recognition. So that question stumped me. So I asked, and I had an idea, but I wanted to make sure what I was going to say was authentic, because I'm very real. A lot of my friends will tell you that what you get is, what you see is what you get. So I think every friend would say I have more energy than anyone else that they know. I think that's probably the number one that they would say. But I think they would also say loyal, funny. I don't think I'm funny, but people around me always think that I'm funny. And fun, passionate, hardworking. And my best friend says that I'm compassionate and dedicated. And I think anybody that I love would tell you that I'm someone who will hold you up when you cannot stand on your own. And if I love you, I will fight for you and I will fight with you. So I think that's what they'd say.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And I just want to know, you are running your dance studio and your Mary Kay business, two seemingly different environments, two different rhythms. How did your entrepreneurial journey start? Like, walk us through what that looks like.
Yeah, so well, maybe you don't know, we also bought a pool company.
Oh, wow.
Swimming pool
Okay.
company. So there's
think
actually
you told me
three
that.
very successful, very, very different rhythms.
Uh-huh.
And I've learned some things because of that pool company that I never wanted to know. Don't
Uh-huh.
think I needed to know, but there's always learning. But I guess I'd say I think my journey began as a little girl. I always wanted an empire. Like I think it was just in me. I had the best of both worlds. My grandparents were both entrepreneurs and worked traditional jobs. My great grandma entrepreneur, and my mother was an entrepreneur and worked a traditional job as well. So I guess you'd say it's in my blood. But I remember one specific instance where my first real adult job interview as like an adult. I was 21 years old. It was with a mortgage company in the Chicago area. And at that interview, if you made it through the interviews, then the owner of the company was the last one to interview you. And it was in his office, and whatever department head you were going to be working under was also in the interview. So it was me and like these old men, and I remember his name was Paul, the owner at the time. And he looked at me and he said, okay, where do you see yourself 20 years from now? And nobody had ever asked 20. And being a 21-year-old, the thought, that far away thought of me being 41, like that seems so far away and so long. Like, so I thought about it for a moment, and I looked him dead in the eye and I said, well, if I'm still sitting here at this company in 20 years, I see myself on the opposite side of the desk. And I just sat back in my chair, and he smirked and he said, I believe you, but this is not the job for you. So I'm going to hire you, and I want you to start today. But if you quit, you promise me that you give me 30 days. And I said, okay. And so, I think it was just born in me. I was not going to work for someone else.
I love that. When was your first business? Like, did you have a career before? Like, how did you get started from making money and then having it come from a business, or has it always been a business?
Yeah, I think I did several things as a kid, actually. Several things, always found a way to make money and loved just the freedom of having money. And I think, when I married my husband, we agreed that I would be a stay-at-home mom, and I did not realize that that was not aligned at the time with who I was in my inner being. And so I thought I'd be happy being a stay-at-home mom and trophy wife and, all the things. And I just wasn't. So I did everything from have a basket weaving business, if you can even imagine, to, I started a cleaning business. I did wedding planning. I did all the businesses because I needed to just that creativity in me. I think I would explode if I didn't use it. So I always just found a way. So I don't know. I was a kid. I don't really know.
And how did, of the 3 businesses you have now, Mary Kay was the first? And so what attracted you to Mary Kay? At what stage in your life did Mary Kay find you?
Well, my grandmother actually had the first beauty consultant in the state of Illinois. And so she actually met Mary Kay Ash at a couple of guest events that she went to as a guest. And so our neighbor was a very successful Mary Kay entrepreneur. She was on target for her car, and I was her kid's nanny. And so I would do all the things like file her profile cards, package her orders, because she'd come home, I'd unpack her car, and she'd leave me a to-do list. And she went to be with her husband, like showered, went to bed, and I was still there, like with a to-do list. And I thought, who is this woman? And so she had tried to recruit me, and it wasn't the right time. And so it really took me having my girls and being a little bit stir crazy and being a whole lot of broke. And so it was the only option at that time that we had because our 2 ends did not know each other. Like when I say our ends did not meet at the end of the month, they did not even know that they were related. So we just, I figured, how many stupid lipsticks do I have to sell to get my husband through this apprenticeship program? And then I will just quit this ridiculous idea and go back to being a mom.
And so how long ago was that when you got started?
25 years ago.
25 years ago. And so you come into Mary Kay, sell some stupid lipstick, and what happened?
My senior director at the time put one of my customers under me as a team member. She wanted to join. I did not want a team. I did not need another person hanging on me asking questions. So I thought it would be a great idea if she went under my director. And instead, my director, because at that time you could do that, and my director put her under me. And I told my director exactly what I thought of that and her and that idea. And I was going to quit. And she said, well, that's fine. But if I took that person from you, if ever you do decide to go for a big goal, you will always either be angry at me or regret your decision. So you don't have to do anything, but this is how it is. And I respected her for that she was honest and direct with me. And you know what? My DIQ story is one maybe for August, but half my unit came from that first team member, and she is still with me today.
Isn't that wild? What integrity. One of the things that I love, so many reasons why other people wouldn't have thought twice. No problem, you're giving her to me, no problem, I got her. And the second verse is she may not have done what she did if she wasn't with you, right? I mean, it's just all things work together. So you got started with Mary Kay. At what point was leadership something you decided that you wanted?
Well, I think right away, as soon as I got into Mary Kay, because I started in April and I didn't really go to anything or do anything. I did not want to leave my babies. They were 4 months old. I had twins. And my husband was pretty much home every other Sunday for a few hours because he was working a lot of extra jobs to make ends meet. And he really wanted to provide for our family. So I was obedient in the sense that I knew my director knew the business and I knew that she had my best interests at heart. And I was not going to allow my lack of commitment waste her time because I knew that she was a professional woman and successful. And I was not going to be the reason that her time was wasted because I knew if she was spending time on me, that was time away from someone else. So if I asked her a question and she told me something to do, I did it out of respect to. And I think it was just enough. She worked with me just enough for me to put one foot in front of the other.
And then I had earned, which actually, Katrina, you already mentioned it, Chicago Rama. We used to do a Cinderella dinner. I started in April. Well, back up. Started in April. A friend of mine came to me and said, I went to a Mary Kay party last week and it was a blast. And I know that you're doing this, but you won't hold parties. So here's the deal. There's a lot of products on my wish list. This lady's going to give it to me free and I'm going to have a party with her, or you're going to do the party for me. So which one do you want to do? And so I was like, well, you can't go to somebody else. You're my friend. So fine, I'll do the party. So I hadn't even opened really my starter kit from April to August. So I went into her home and she had all these people there. Obviously, it was not coached. There was like 15 or 18 people there. And I immediately felt sick. I set my starter kit on the table. I went in her bathroom and threw up for 2 hours until she knocked on the door and said, Jeni, somebody has to use the bathroom. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. There's only one way out of this house and I have to pass all these people. I thought, fine, I will leave this stuff and I'll pick it up from her later. So I made a beeline for the front door. And one of the ladies, man, she's still my customer today. She was my very first skincare customer other than my grandma. She said, Jeni, how do we buy it? And I thought, oh my gosh, these people want to buy this stuff? Are they crazy? I'm like, well, I don't really know. So, and we didn't have texting, so I just opened up the manual that was still in my kit and read how to do a sales ticket. And so they helped me and filled out their own tickets and figured out their own colors. And they had opened up the stuff and were playing with it. Y'all, this is a true story. And I sold $1,000. It was a little more than $1,000. And I wasn't even at the party. That's the big joke. Jeni Tjelle had $1,000 first party and she wasn't even there. So I sold $1,000 and I called my director because I didn't know what to do with the money. So I had $1,000 and she said, well, you have to come to the meeting because I have to show you what to do with the money. And I thought, oh man, now she's going to get me to one of those meetings. So I went with my $1,000 and my little starter kit, and she took me up in the front of the room and she spoke to everybody and told me who I was. And nobody had ever told me who I was like that before. And she told people that I was a young mom who had these twin babies and that if I could do it, they could do it too. And people had tears in their eyes and they clapped for me. And I thought, dinner is ready. I did.
You can't make this up in my house.
Right? Life. I said, because of what I did, it made a difference for them, hearing her talk about me. So I am coming back here every Monday night. If I have to hire a village to nanny my children, I will be here every Monday night because of that. And then in January, she had put somebody under me, my first team member, that story that I shared, she had put somebody under me. And then she told my husband that I had a team member and I only needed 2 more to earn this thing. And so my husband recruited 2 people under me. And he talked to 2 people at Walmart and worked there part-time when we were trying to make ends meet. And he thought it'd be a great idea for these girls to do Mary Kay instead of being at Walmart. So my husband recruited 2 people under me. So I earned the Chicago Rama Cinderella dinner back when we used to do that back in the day, remember? And so I went to the Cinderella dinner. And the reason that Judy got me there was because she offered to pay for the sitter and take my husband and I to a fancy dinner. And we hadn't been anywhere since the day I got pregnant. And so I thought, if she's paying for the dinner and the babysitter, I'm going. So she paid for the babysitter and he put on his best suit. I put on my best dress and we went to Chicago Rama and Judy Tjelle sat down with my husband and she said, how are you going to feel if your wife ever makes more money than you? And my husband looked her right in the eye and said, well, I'm going to learn how to play golf. And I thought, oh my gosh. And then just from the speakers and the story, that was the night that Mary Kay got into me.
That is so, what you just shared, and for the guests that are watching, and I know they're putting in the comments, just comment what you're hearing, what you're loving, is Mary Kay, like the story of the girl who, becomes a woman in this business, who learns, and your eyes are, your vision is small and your eyes are, you just don't see big. And then all of a sudden it's like, it just opens up so much to you. And especially the fact of being able to speak into a woman's life and tell her who she is. Women have been mothered and managed, but so many have not been mentored. And so just having a mentor and how you got yourself to the meeting. I mean, I was going to talk about how you started off, not super fast in Mary Kay. And I mean, how many of you have done something wrong? I mean, when we talk about, just put in the chat, what's the wildest thing? I mean, it's me who goes to the party and, has no product and no trays and no anything. It's the person who put the product on out of order and we still sold $1,000 like we are here 25 years later. Jeni, so good. And so what it was slow for you growing as a sales director, and now you are this powerful Cadillac director. What shifted for you?
Yeah, well, first I didn't answer your story, but I think that day was when leadership was born in me.
Okay,
Like, I
good.
wanted to be a leader. At that Chicago Rama dinner, seeing the way Judy talked to my husband, I thought, I want to do that for women. And it's because of her, when she told people who I was, every night when I tucked my babies into bed, I told them who they were. In their ear, in a little whisper, in their sleep, I would say, let me tell you who you are. And I would speak into them who they were. And then before I would leave the room, I would say, and that is who you are. And so that kind of became my mission in a way, to tell women who they were. And the thing that shifted here, I'm going to skip through the first part that I was going to share. But because we had a lot of life, and a lot of not piddly life, like a lot of big, serious life, my husband and I. And so a lot of that was, I was exactly where I needed to be when I was there, and would I have done it faster? Absolutely, if I could go back. But you don't know what you don't know. And the thing is, I was very raw coming in, and it took a lot of softening for me because I was very guarded and I didn't trust people, especially women. So I look at it kind of like a sifting, or like an onion. God had to peel back a lot of layers of me. And there was a lot of sifting that had to happen to get me to that pink Cadillac. I think if I would have made it the first time I tried, I wouldn't have been a good director. Not maybe a good director, but not a great leader. So I think that always there's timing for the consultants here. There's always timing, and you have to trust the timing, and you will never know the story or the reason until you're on the other side of the timing. But the main thing that shifted for me is that I have 3 daughters, and now they're all adults, but the older 2 twins and a younger one right behind them. And I think that I saw too much too early in my career, and I let it distract me. And there was a lot of comparison that I would have protected myself from if I could go back. So the distractions are for real, especially, and we didn't even have social media then, you guys. So now, you really have to just avoid the distractions. But my 2 older daughters were turning 18. Which in our home, that meant at midnight on their 18th birthday, they would join this business, or they would pay me full price for their product as a customer. And so that was the deal, and they knew it. And so their 18th birthdays were approaching. The month before, I went to a leaders meeting in the Chicago area. One of the heads of our corporate staff was there at the time heading the meeting. It was a goal setting session, and he pushed me pretty hard in front of people. And if you know me, if you back me into a corner, I come out swinging and fighting. I don't back down, and I'm a fighter. And so he pushed me really, really hard in front of everybody. And all the Chicago area directors were there. And he asked me, because he knew me and we had worked together. And so he had just asked me, what's your goal by June 30th? Jeni Tjelle, what's your goal by June 30th? And I said, pink Cadillac, and he said, well, tell me why. Now, he knew and I knew. It had been a goal for more than 10 years at that time. I was still saying pink Cadillac. Cadillac by Christmas, my kids will tell you. 10 to 15 years, Cadillac by Christmas. Never came, Santa came, went, Cadillac never did. But he asked me why. And I gave him all the textbook answers, trophy, names, leadership, all the right things I said. And he kept asking me, why? And then finally, when I was not getting to the answer, he said, Jeni Tjelle, I want to know why you want a pink Cadillac. And he got right in my face because I was sitting in the front row because that's where I sit because I'm a great student, but I was also an easy target.
Mhm.
And so he came right in my face and he said, "Why does Jeni Tjelle want a pink Cadillac?" And under my breath, I said, "You are not going to make me cry in front of all these people. And you know, I hate what you are doing right now." And he said, "And if you cannot cry and say what you want in front of all these people, you will never get one and you will never reach your goal. Why do you want a pink Cadillac?" And I snapped back because I have two daughters that are signing their agreements in 30 days. And I have told them and promised them that they don't need college. They don't need a degree. They don't need a full-time job with benefits because Mary Kay is the greatest opportunity in the land for women. And if I don't start living up to my full potential and show them what is possible in this business, how will they ever believe they can? So their mother has to show up and do it first. So I don't just want a pink Cadillac. I need that car. And he said, "And I will personally hand you those keys on stage in June because you will finish." And we did.
I love it. What a story, you guys. So many obstacles, so much grit, so much grace. But when you get down to it and you really figure out your why, and isn't it true? So many times, again, mothered and managed, but not mentored. So many times we are at the surface where we play it safe, and safe may pay like your mortgage. It might even, take you on a decent vacation, but it will not take you around the world and open up just the biggest piece of possibilities for you, and just get you to a place of having real peace because you have poured everything into all that you have. I'm grateful for that pink Escalade outside because it's the only way I can carry all these kiddos. Okay, it's really a blessing. So many people. I mean, it's not only the cream of the crop in Mary Kay, but that is how you earn a six-figure income, and that is it's a trophy that's only given to you based on your level of excellence, and it means you've helped so many other people become wildly successful. So you are so strategic and creative and heart-centered, and thank you for our guests. We're going a little bit over because we started under, and we're going to wrap it up in just a few more questions. How do those qualities show up for you in how you mentor women and how you support them in being their best?
Yeah, so it's so funny when people say that I'm strategic and everybody says it, but on your strength finders, it's my number 34. So I don't know what it is, but I think I'm the world's greatest problem solver.
Mhm.
And so I think because I hold myself to high standards, those around me, including my children, rise.
Mhm.
And I think that they do it willingly, but I also am heart centered was like one of the perfect ways to describe me, Katrina. And I know that you knew that about me when you said that. But I also think when you lead from your heart, women know you care. And when you come at it from that way, and then you offer her problem solving, she's more willing to take it. But that didn't just come naturally for me. That came through a very painful time in my life to be able to willingly show vulnerability with other women.
Yeah, so good. We appreciate you in the comments. They're loving your story. If you could have all of the women that are watching and they could have one leadership or life lesson that they can really get, grasp, and own, what would you say that if you could just gift it to all of us, what would that be?
If I could gift something to women, I would want them to know that they can truly have anything they want. And it is my dream in Mary Kay and in my life, the dance studio, especially has really brought this to the surface more so for me. We all had little girl dreams at one time, and those dreams were not an accident, and they were instilled in us by God. We were born with those dreams of what we once wanted to do. And then it's life that jades you and circumstances that we go through. And although we want to be responsible for our own choices, it's how we respond and react to what happens to us. And so what I would want women to know is that your past does not define you. No matter the mistake you've made, no matter the poor choices you've made, that does not define you. And it's not a sentence on your future. And the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your church, for your community is to live every day out loud, to be the best, most powerful version of yourself, because I believe that's why we were created.
Mm-hmm. How much of who you are do you think came because you said yes to Mary Kay? Like, you
I
know.
think the type of leader that I am has everything to do with me saying yes to Mary Kay. I think that I was a born leader for sure, but maybe more so to be a boss, not really a leader and a mentor, because they are different. And so I think that my grandma always wanted me to be a lawyer because she thought that I could convince anybody to go anywhere and get them to do anything, no matter who they were. But as far as becoming a good leader, those skills were learned in Mary Kay. And it was because of the women that I chose to surround myself with and the ones that I chose to put in my head to listen to and the people that my children were surrounded by. And I was always very careful of, I didn't want my children seeing me one way at home and a different way in Mary Kay. And they saw how women really were able, because I think we all had gifts. My gifts were still my gifts. I would be great at any job I did. I would not be successful because that is who I am. And we all have gifts. But what Mary Kay does so beautifully, and she was so brilliant, she gives us a space to use our individual gifts where we can truly be ourselves and use the God-given gifts that each of us have to flourish a business that we know already works. And so the women in Mary Kay made me better. They expected me to be better. And it's every reason, 100% Mary Kay.
Absolutely. I mean, you couldn't have worded it better. I feel the exact same way. I know I'm a born leader. If you follow me from, elementary school all the way through, leader all the time, and know I would be successful, whatever I was doing. But I mean, it's just thousands and thousands and thousands of things that God had placed inside me that are blossomed because of this business. And I think one of the best ways to describe it is there are thoughts that I would not have even thought just because of all the environment and the travel and the women and the competition being removed. There's such heavy competition in other environments, even among entrepreneurs. There's just so much, and it's not that we don't you know have strong competitive spirit in Mary Kay, but it's a different type. There's enough. I think probably the best way to describe it is abundance versus scarcity. There's enough for you to win and for me to win, because everybody gets a diamond, everyone gets a car, everyone gets to win. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, you know what, Katrina, I was going to say, because of what you said, we get to be competitive. And I think you would agree with me when I say this. And I think that I speak for a lot of the leaders in Mary Kay. We're not competing against each other. We're competing to be in the room. We want the seat at the table. We want our voices heard. We want our story shared. We want to make a difference. So oftentimes, yes, we're looking at the scoreboard. Yes, it's a numbers game. Yes, it's sales. It's all those things. Nobody wanted to do Mary Kay and be in Mary Kay. Let's face it. I often call it the island of misfit toys. It's where we all ended up when the world we were working in didn't appreciate our gifts and talents. And so, but we get to compete together to be in the room and be in the space with bigger thinkers.
Absolutely. And we're headed to the happiest place on earth, not Disneyland, but Seminar, where our dreams really are born. A guest could join today and could meet us at Seminar. So I want to ask you this last question. You run multiple businesses. It's 2025, y'all. We're no longer in the place that it's Mary Kay. You can't chase two rabbits and catch either one. That's just not a reality anymore. You can do more than one thing well, especially as I just trained yesterday. When you have extra hands, we get really good at learning how to multiply ourselves and duplicate ourselves. And for goodness sakes, use technology and AI and all the things that can support us. why is Mary Kay right for the time? I guess this is a two-part question. Probably the first part of it, or you can answer it in either order. Why is Mary Kay right for the time, and how, like, for the person who's already got other stuff going, like, how are you running multiple businesses and you're not halfway in anyone, you're excelling at every single level? How do you do that? And why is Mary Kay right for now?
I think women have this altered perspective that if it has to be done right, it has to be done by me, or a perfection mentality. Like if I can't do it, this is what we hear all the time. If I can't give it 100%, then I don't want to do it. We can't give anything 100%. But when you're with your kids 100%, or when you're with your kids, be with them 100% of the time. When you're working Mary Kay, be doing Mary Kay 100% of the time. But I don't think there's also such a thing as balance. For me, balance equals delegation. I delegate a lot, but I wasn't always able to. So I started small and I got rid of things as we went. And now, I mean, I don't do anything I don't want to do today. Like I even have an in-home chef that comes in. She's coming in the morning. She cooks all our meals for all week. Because when we bought the pool company, that was the only thing left that I could give up was cooking. And so I did. And so with something like Mary Kay, I learned, because let's face it, people often say like, and I've heard that you can't catch or chase two rabbits and catch either one. But when I had my kids, nobody said that to me. Nobody said I couldn't do Mary Kay because I had kids. Nobody said I couldn't do Mary Kay because we were broke and I had a husband. They encouraged me to do it. And so now I just look at, the dance studio is just a lot of kids, and so I don't have young kids at home. So instead I'm doing that, but it's just prioritizing where you get to design your life. And not every person in Mary Kay wants to work to our level. And that's okay. But there is a place for everyone to play. And if you're a player, you could be a winner in Mary Kay. The field is vast. And so there is a place for everybody in Mary Kay. I'll tell you, it's the cheapest form of self-help. I tell people I became a psychologist, a doctor, a Christian, and an entrepreneur, all in Mary Kay. Like save myself a whole lot of money from all kinds of degrees, and I'm not minimizing that, but I'm just saying like I learned to sprinkle it into my life where I already was.
Mhm.
And so I don't know any other business that you can start for as little as you could start Mary Kay, be surrounded by positive, like-minded people, and just sprinkle it here and there. And they have a mentor that comes in your starter kit. So I think we're relevant for every day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just want to share really briefly, and then Dorothy's going to do our drawing. And I just remembered, Dorothy, I got to make you a co-host in order for you to, to come on and do our drawing because we have just totally shifted. I think you guys can see our screen. I think you can see. I think you can see. Just some quick, fun facts about our business. The fact, Dwayne, you can see, yes. Okay. So fun facts about our business. We earn 50% of everything we sell. So we're going to teach you and show you how to work this business. You could be a brand ambassador, or you could do a little bit, or you could do a lot. And you could do in person, or you could do virtual. So we make it work for you. Flexibility. We talked about that. There's no quotas, no territories. If you've got 2 hours a week, or if you want a full-time gig, this can be that for you. Dual marketing concept, no multi-level, not a pyramid scheme. We have been in the game for over 63 years. It is what we do, and we do it well. We don't make money off our team members. We build, and we build each other up. It's almost a reverse hierarchy. Okay. Your success determines my success. And so there's enough to go around. There's so much collaboration. We talked about that. And each of us running our own business, small businesses coming together collectively, making big things happen. We come to have fun, but we don't come to play. So imagine working on a team where everyone values who you are and how your strengths fit the team. So many rewards. I mean, Jeni and I have both won carrots. We got more carrots than Bugs Bunny. For me, it's been over 50 carats of diamonds, you guys. So much cash. And then there's the car program. So you can earn a Chevy Trax or a Chevy Equinox or a pink Cadillac. As a national sales director, I roll in a pink Escalade or $1,500 a month cash. So you get to decide what you want to create with your business. So many rewards. We are off to this amazing seminar, which is going to be in Charlotte. And it is where dreams are formed, as we said. So how you get started is it's only $35 if you decided you wanted to get started with Mary Kay. Where can you go and start a business for $35? That gets you in and gets you a little welcome packet just to get you started. And if you want to make even more money, you can get $400 worth of product and supplies and everything for only $90, $400 worth of retail product. Either way you start, if you start here or you start here, all the perks are exactly the same. This just gives you some goodies to be able to demo the product on the go. So decide how you want to get started, and we'd love to have you so much. And it's just been a joy to hear your story. And I know you guys are typing in the chat what impressed you the most. And so we're going to do a quick drawing, Jenny, and then I'm going to give you the last word. Let's see who our winner is. Once again, just for being on today, you got to let your beauty consultant know, because if it says iPhone or something, she might not know who you are. So just for being on today, you get entered into our August drawing, the second Tuesday in August. But many of you, because of the work you did, sharing the product or helping your beauty consultant with a big goal in May or June, are entered into today's drawing. If you're a winner, beauty consultant will let me know and we will hit your Cash App or your Venmo. So take it away, Dorothy. Let's see. Is she there? Can she share? Okay, you can see. All right. Lots of people have the same, lots of people have multiple entries. And let's see who it is. A little bit of feedback. Okay, there you go. It is Christine Hill. I don't know where the feedback is coming from, but you guys can see the drawing. You can see. Okay, I'm going to hit mute. Hold on, because I have no idea where that's coming from. Someone may be unmuted, including me. Okay, so I unmute.
Well, to the guests